A dark, abandoned house with walls covered in black mold and cryptic, blood-stained symbols. A vintage rotary phone sits in the middle of a dimly lit room, its cord twisted like a noose. The phone is ringing with an eerie, deep chime. A terrified young woman with pale skin and long, disheveled hair hesitantly reaches for it. Shadows crawl across the floor like living tendrils, creeping towards her feet. The air is thick, suffocating, whispering her name in an unnatural voice. The atmosphere is haunting, filled with an ominous presence, as if unseen eyes are watching from the darkness. Shadows on the peeling wallpaper. From the receiver, a distorted whisper seeps through, raspy and broken. "I see you." Her face is frozen in horror. A large, dusty mirror in the corner fogs up on its own, and ghostly words appear. "Look behind you." In the background, a faint humanoid shadow with hollow eyes lurks, blending into the decayed surroundings, watching her intently. The single light bulb above flickers erratically before shutting off, leaving the room in near darkness. The woman stands in the center, her breath visible in the freezing air. The floor begins to crack as a black, tar-like substance oozes from the gaps, spreading toward her feet. The phone vibrates in her grip, glowing with an unearthly green hue. The whispering voice on the line turns into a deep, guttural growl, echoing all around. The wallpaper peels away, revealing scratched messages and bloody handprints underneath. The woman frantically stumbles toward an old wooden door, gripping the rusted handle, but it won't budge. Her terrified reflection is faintly visible in the cracked glass window of the door. Blood begins seeping through the door's crevices, forming eerie symbols. From the other side, slow, deliberate knocks echo. Scratching sounds follow, deep and relentless, like nails raking against the wood. The receiver of the phone, now lying on the floor, emits a shrill, static-filled scream. A large cracked mirror dominates the room. The woman, shivering with fear, stares into it, but something is wrong. Her reflection isn't copying her movements. Instead, it stands still, its face twisting into an unnatural wide grin. Its eyes are hollow voids. The reflection raises a trembling hand and smears black liquid across the glass from the inside. Behind her, in the real world, a shadowy figure with glowing red eyes slowly emerges from the darkness, watching her. The phone rings again, but this time the sound is coming from inside the mirror. The room has transformed, now resembling a long-abandoned crime scene. The walls are covered in dozens of aged, rotting photographs, each showing different people frozen in wide-eyed terror. In the center of the wall, a fresh photo has appeared. A picture of the woman, taken just seconds ago, despite no camera being in the room. The phone, now old and rusted, sits in a pool of dark liquid. The air is heavy with dread, as if something ancient and malevolent is lurking just beyond sight, waiting for her next move. The phone rings one last time, but there is no longer a receiver attached, just a severed cord. The woman stands frozen in fear, her hands covering her ears, her face twisted in silent horror. The walls pulse as if alive, whispering unintelligible chants. The shadow behind her stretches, twisting into a monstrous, grinning figure. Its elongated fingers, ending in sharp claws, reach toward her shoulder. The room begins to distort, objects melting into darkness. The final thing seen before the screen fades to black is a reflection in the broken mirror. Standing there, grinning, as if she was never the victim, but the entity itself.